When you hear the word platformer, you think Mario, not this. Nice easy jump. I got... Uh-oh. Shit, fuck. Come on, shut up. The one I can feel it.
3 days later.
You know what? I don't actually mind if I make it this time or not. I'll just do a little up here. And I think the game might need to be harder. Hayao Miyazaki once said...
フロムソフトウェアのみんな、そしてパートナーである
Whoosh, whoosh. The movement in this game is pushed to its absolute extreme. The way they introduce every mechanic so naturally is unmatched. Jump or die, dash or die, momentum, just die. What the shit? And even when the game isn't teaching you mechanics, it's teaching you a lesson. I got this. This one's easy. I got it now. Yep, I can. Come on. Just up here, and then we'll come around here, and I can finally get the strawberry. Yes! And I'm just gonna get... Every screen of this game is a puzzle, and the solution is death, forcing you to use carefully timed, precise movements to work your way through challenges with ease. Fuck! Amongst all this death, you'll find side rooms and other paths that are so carefully worked into the world, you're constantly asking, wait, is this the right way? Or is this the challenge route? And if you're brave enough, you can die a few hundred times in those instead. Shit, crap, come on! Don't worry though, you respawn instantly, allowing you to slam your head against the same puzzle for hours on end, all for a single strawberry. Holy shit, I got it. Now it's easy. And just when you think you're getting the hang of it, the game goes, hey, have this little diamond that gives you a second air dash. This ball that chews you up and spits you out. And a wind, I guess. This is just wind. Or my favorite, the star block. Look at this. I love that. You'll never see that again. Every chapter adds a new mechanic and abandons the previous, which should keep the game fresh, but for me, it felt like just as I was getting into a rhythm, or as I'd begun pushing that mechanic's boundaries, I'd suddenly be forced to learn something entirely different. Oh, I hate this one. And because Celeste is a precision platformer, meaning most screens have a particular set of precise inputs you need to do to beat them, sometimes the screens do end up feeling a bit, well, like this. The solution here doesn't feel fun. Shit. This feeling though is quickly forgotten when you move on to the next screen. I slammed through the first 2 chapters and loved every second until chapter 3. If my deaths in chapter 1 and 2 looked like this, no, okay, not too bad. Then chapter 3, well, chapter 3 was like this. Fuck me. I've never experienced such a huge difficulty spike in a game before. While not at all unbeatable, this entire chapter and its mechanic of, oh, so everything I touch kills me. That's the mechanic. Was such a shock to the system. This difficulty isn't maintained either. Chapter 4, while hard, is far easier. Okay, I got it. Chapter 3 was walking on Lego. That was riding a roller coaster. In fact, almost all the chapters from this point on felt much easier, more balanced, and actually satisfying to beat. Yes, that was so good. Holy crap, that is the best sequence of platforming I've ever played. This difficulty spike genuinely would have made me put the game down for much longer if it wasn't for the end of chapter 2. Late at night, after dealing with her evil goth twin and constant death, our hero finds a phone, and her instinct is to call her mum. This scene is so simple, yet perfect. The way her mum bubbly and excitedly greets her, the hesitation our hero has, struggling to find the words to describe how she feels before settling on overwhelmed. But that's all she needs to say. Her mum knows her daughter. She understands her anxiety, her fear, and her panic. She tells her to breathe and says to tell her everything as we fade to black. Wow, okay, that hit me. I'm fucking up over here. As someone who has been diagnosed with an acute anxiety condition and has struggled with depression, I'm not ashamed to admit it's a scene that perfectly captured a call I had with my own mum just 4 days after bringing my daughter home. Late at night, sat on the couch, everyone else was asleep. In fact, everything was fine, but I was overwhelmed. So I called the only person I could, and I sobbed about everything and about genuinely nothing. 12 hours later, she'd flown across multiple states and was at my door to meet her granddaughter. And she didn't say everything was okay or to try use logic to calm me. She was just there when I was overwhelmed. So much of this story is shown through the gameplay. The single block falling, forcing you forward. The bridge collapsing, forcing you even further. Constantly, Booger has no choice but to move forward. Her escape blocked. She must face herself, but you can't learn everything that way. In most of these scenes, our hero barely talks, but despite that, you learn so much about her, both from how others see her and from her own subtle hesitations. The problem is, this authenticity doesn't last. One of the reasons it's so easy to connect with so much of this game is because the subtle approach allows the player to interpret the scene however they want. Please allow me to carry your luggage. My bag? No thanks, I'll keep it. Booger, please just accept the help. So when I saw this dialogue option, what does depression feel like? No. Oh no. Don't fucking say ocean. Don't bring up endless darkness or a void. Please don't do this. No, don't do heavy-handed stereotypes that every art student does. Ah, no! Art and media have been portraying depression this way for years. As a documentary filmmaker, I saw hundreds of films attempt to tackle mental health, and I cannot tell you how many times I've seen the exact same scene play out. A woman in a bath. The water is dyed pitch black as she slowly sinks under. A voiceover says, "Depression is like sinking into an ocean, an endless void." And again, as someone diagnosed with depression and anxiety, can I just say, shut the fuck up. These generalizations do so much harm to mental health awareness because everyone is different, and pushing such a specific metaphor not only rips players like myself out of a character they've become invested in, but much more importantly, makes others who can't relate have a misleading view of depression. How many vivid, bright, and positive people have we lost to depression only for the world to turn around and say, but wait, they weren't depressed. They smile in photos. They go to work. They make others laugh. They don't seem like they're crushed by an endless void. Hell, if you wanted to connect with me, the metaphor should have been the direct opposite. I'm in a vivid white room. Everywhere I look are crystal clear memories that range from mundane and unimportant to major life events. Every time I see one, my brain panics and tells me I'm useless, disgusting, I should end myself, and desperately I try to look away, but there isn't anywhere safe. My only option is to stand there and verbalize out loud why, that's probably a bad idea. And when or if that doesn't work, I sit there and I think about my wife, our wedding day, our beautiful daughter, focus only on them and hope that works. If it doesn't, well, sometimes I just make a loud, weird noise to break the train of thought. But here's the thing, they obviously can't say that because it's so specific to me. You likely, watching this, can't relate to that experience. Mental health is an incredibly unique thing for every person. I know this scene is still valuable. It will still connect with millions of people. It just felt disappointing to go from something so subtle to something so heavy-handed. But hey, at least I didn't have to do chapter 3 again. You know what? This. Celeste feels like a game of satisfaction. Brutal, challenging precision puzzles that are tuned to be difficult, but satisfying to beat. And I love that. This game fucking sucks. Even with the strange difficulty curve, the story missteps, I loved working my way through, watching as the characters grow. All of it leading to this amazing final chapter, a victory lap like nothing I've ever seen. After falling to their lowest point, you start to climb again, unstoppable, revisiting every Wait. No! This final chapter has some of the best platforming I've ever experienced, and while the story beats are a bit too neat and tidy, a bit too perfect, it's okay, because the final climb makes up for it. I take it back. This is the best platforming I've ever experienced. Everything builds to this amazing moment where you finally make it to the top. You've succeeded. This scene was so cathartic for me. Looking back at every death, I felt amazing. Until the game slapped me in the face. You see, this is only a third of the game, and upon beating it, the game reveals an entire second challenge, the B-sides. I took my pants off, bent over, and prepared to be here all night, but wait, what the f are hearts? There are hearts? Turns out strawberries are useless, but hidden throughout the entire game are hearts, which are used to unlock the extra content. I have 0 of these. I would have loved to try these challenges, but as someone with a full-time job, a daughter, and more, I don't have the time to go back and hunt down every single one. And I definitely don't want to be forced to use guides, as that will spoil the experience. So I guess I am stuck. The feeling of overcoming a difficult, challenging, and amazing game was undermined knowing I'll likely never get to experience what else it has to offer. But hey, that's okay. At least I'll never have to do this shit again.